Yo, what's up everybody? Good to see you and welcome back to the Potato Boat YouTube channel. Today, we are doing something a little bit different. So if you've been watching videos on the channel, you know that we have been going through a playthrough of The Forest. I streamed it years ago, so I've forgotten a lot of it, but I have a little bit of prior knowledge. Been playing with Dream, Cade, and Gerby, who really don't have knowledge. And so I thought there's probably people who are watching that don't have an explicit knowledge. So I figured it was a good idea to make a tier list of, what you ask, weapons. That's right, I'm gonna be taking my opinion, like, just big disclaimer, this is my opinion of all the weapons that are in the forest and how they rank to me, okay? Because there's definitely gonna be some controversial, you know, you're actually stupid statements in this video. Like, I'm just letting you know ahead of time that they're coming, because this is for me and what I think is actually like the teats. Okay, I'm not here for like damage per numbers or whatever. We're going sheer on, would I use this weapon? How would I use this weapon? What is the justification for this weapon, etc. So without further ado, it's tier list time, like Tim the Toolman Taylor. Behold, it is our tier list. As you can see, we have over 30 different weapons. Yes, I know categorically a lot of them will fall close together, but we have 30 different weapons or so here, and I'm going to rank them all in these 5 tiers. We have the S tier, I run this island. The A tier, I could probably take down a whole village, but there's still some stuff, you know, it maybe not be the prime weapon. The 3rd tier, I'm taking a small squad out before I go down, but that I gotta kind of not, you know, I gotta just discount my actual skill. Then there's also the 4th tier. Please come at me one at a time, I'm fragile. And finally, the F tier. What am I holding? Please just kill me. So this is what we're gonna get into today. Before we get started though, go down in the comments and tell me what you think is the most overpowered weapon in the game. Also, I am not taking these weapons. This is probably going to completely take the wind out of some people's sails. I am not taking these weapons as they're going as base what they are here, not upgraded. So that's like, you know, the survival axe. We're not adding feathers or teeth, any of the axes, anything like that. These are, if I pick it up and we find it, using it. So I guess other than one of the weapons you have to like really assemble, but so there's a disclaimer on that too, because I know you can actually upgrade it, but it gets hard to kind of get into that minutia, and I'm just not about it. So without upgrades, comment below what you think is the most overpowered weapon in the forest, or just your go-to. You know, it doesn't have to be overpowered, because my S tier weapon is definitely going to make some people upset. So let me know what you think. And that being said, I'm not running this off of any list. I'm not reading down like a predisposed thing. This is live recording in action of where I put things. So to start it off with, the severed human arm. And I gotta be honest, this is probably not that surprising, but I gotta put this one in the F tier, because I'm fairly sure. How many hours do I have in the forest? Total playtime. Okay, so I have a total playtime of 80 hours. That's not a lot. Completed the game once, okay? I have a total playtime of 80 hours in the forest. In that 80 hours, I'm fairly sure that I've killed one person with the arm. Now, that being said, tell me that's not intimidating though. Like, if somebody came to me and started to beat me with another dude's arm, there's an intimidation factor here. But I'm just gonna throw it in the F tier. It's really not a weapon that I would use unless I'm out of other weapons and you're just on the fly and you cut a dude's arm off who's dead already, but you already have something to cut that dude's arm off with. So under no circumstances would I use this as a weapon, but maybe food. All right, so the Molotov spear I'm gonna not talk about right now. We're gonna just grab as we go. I'm actually just gonna go by tier here. Another one in the F tier, I'm going with the bone. It's basically the light version of the arm. You know, literally you just eat the arm and there's the bone left, so technically it's actually worse. But again, under no circumstances, it does go into good stuff like armor. It does go into good stuff like, you know, good stuff, but like I would never ever use it as a weapon unless I didn't have any other choice. So that one for me is sitting in the F tier. Also in the F tier, I'm gonna put the turtle shell. Now I have no idea if you can take the turtle shell and use it as a shield. I've never experienced a mechanic. I know you can use it as a sled, but like, it is not the ideal tool to beat a mother lover with. You make water collectors, dope. Slide, pretend you're in the X Games and all that kind of stuff, dope. Some other unknown glitch I'm unaware of, dope. Kill someone, I cannot recommend you kill that poor defenseless turtle, rip its body apart, and then try to kill someone with the shell. I don't think you're gonna see much results. Now, feel free to correct me in the comments if there's some weird crazy damage spike in this that I've never experienced, but you know, I can't let that one go. The next weapon in the F tier is going to be the leg. See 20 seconds ago or whatever it was in the video about the arm. And then also on the F tier, I've got to put the severed human head. Now, I do understand this actually has a decent amount of damage built into it, so maybe I actually should have put it in C tier. But the slow, like the swing speed and everything like that is absolutely disgustingly low, and there's no defense on it. You know what though? But it actually does some damage. I'm gonna put this in C tier. We're cheating a little bit. That one's going in C tier, mainly because all the other factors from the other stuff that I've already talked about. The intimidation factor. You're gonna beat a mother lover with another mother lover's head. I don't care if you're a mutant or a cannibal, that or just a human that got crashed in a plane. Like, I feel like that's a little bit intimidating, and it does decent damage if I remember correctly, but it has 0 block and it's slow. So I'm also going to put the rock there. Basically, these are interchangeable. Again, they're not upgraded or whatever, but the human head and the rock, we're going to put those in C tier because they're basically the same except one wears skin. That's gross. I really wish I had not said that out loud. I think that rounds out our F tier. I don't think there's anything else in here that I can put in F tier. If there was 2 Molotov cocktails like this is here, if there was 2 Molotov cocktail icons, I would put one in F tier and then one higher up where you'll see it goes, because you can actually throw the Molotov cocktail unlit and it does 0 damage. It does not hurt. It doesn't hurt anything. So if this was the real, like, just the Molotov cocktail without a lighter, it's F tier. Obviously, we're gonna put it higher because Molotov is so nice. All right, so F tier. Good. If you're using these weapons, you're actually trolling or doing a challenge run. Either way, I commend you. C tier, we've got the human head, we've got the rock, and I think also what has to go here is the stick / upgraded stick. They actually have the same damage. The only difference with the upgraded stick is you can put the light 'em up stick part on it. Cloth. You can put cloth on it, but you know, you can actually, you can do some damage. It's not good. Honestly, now that I think about it, I'm debating maybe it should have been in the F tier because I'm pretty sure the bone is basically the stick. Nah, dude, we're gonna put the stick in the F tier. Never mind. There we go. We rounded out the F tier. There's no explanation. You see bone equals stick. You're good. Back to the C tier. I'm gonna put the tennis racket. It probably is as functional as an F tier weapon. However, it's a tennis racket. And like, if I really just sit and think about it, if you are taking the time, the other weapons can be memes, okay? If you are taking the time to find the tennis racket and then smack people with it, I think you deserve a higher tier. I don't even care if that's logical or not. Like, that's it. You just, the C tier, you get bonus points for being a meme. Next in the C tier, I'm gonna put the slingshot. The slingshot, you can pick up rocks basically just straight up off the ground. You can look down, press the button to pick up stuff, and it'll pick up a rock. This doesn't kill stuff. No, you use this more to get like things' attentions. You want to draw out kind of like the Dark Souls strat of like aggro one at a time kind of stuff. Like, maybe that's when you use the slingshot, but you're not killing anything with this unless like y'all just know something that I don't. I have never managed to kill anything with the slingshot. I've just managed to make it very angry and watch it tear my life and base asunder. I've never actually seen it do anything useful. So I'm going to put the slingshot in the C tier. Let me know if you've ever killed anything with a slingshot and if I'm just completely dumb. As far as the C tier goes, I think that'll round it out. So those are all the weapons that I would just straight up avoid as weapons unless you have no other choice. So let's move on to the B tier. I'm taking out a small squad as I go down. I'm gonna start with the head on a stick. It's basically just like mini mace. Honestly, there's not a lot I can say about this. The small squad part is because it's so like just slow and slightly useless and doesn't have the damage behind it like another weapon that's similar. The small squad is probably the biggest amount of people you actually want to try to fight, because otherwise you're probably dead. I don't think you take 6 people with this easily unless you just have good movement. So yeah, we're gonna put skull on a stick there. Also in the B tier, I probably should put it in the A tier, but I'm gonna put the crafted axe. I don't personally like it. I know it has like decent like damage numbers. It's can be swung a little faster, but there's other axes that can do, I feel like, what it does that we'll be talking about. So it's, you know, you're taking out the squad, right? But like I would, you're coming home with some bite marks. You're missing a nipple. It's not gonna be the most fun you've ever had, but it gets the job done and helps you progress on becoming a cannibal yourself. Probably in the B tier as well, I'm gonna put the survival axe. Unupgraded, it's only okay. It swings fast. It gets obviously your other stuff done, cutting down trees and stuff like that. But like, I don't feel like combat wise, I don't feel like you're gonna have, without upgrading it, you're probably gonna have as much of a fun time as the others that you've got going on here. So I'm gonna say this is like, again, you can go into combat with this. And early on, you have to go into combat with this. I'm saying there's much better options for combat. So I would just leave this in the back pocket, ready to cut down some trees and use the other stuff to split skulls. So there's the survival axe. The next one I'm going to put on here, it actually can be pretty good. This one might be a little controversial, but I'm going to put the crafted bow. And for one reason only. Bow damage is good, all that kind of stuff. There's better bows, and I feel like if I put this bow higher, that I'm lying. I would not say that the crafted bow is on par with the other bows we're going to talk about. So we're going to call this one what it is. The crafted bow is good. Taking out a small squad probably can actually take more depending on your positioning and stuff. But damage numbers, all that kind of stuff is not going to be nearly as good as the other stuff. I'm gonna put that in the B tier. I may regret that later, but I'm gonna put it in the B tier and let it be what it's going to be. Finally, to round out the B tier, I'm going to put the, I think it's called modern axe. While I feel weird putting it in the same tier as the crafted axe, I don't feel comfortable putting it on the same tier as the axe, the last axe on the list. Spoiler alert, it's going to be a higher tier. I think honestly, this is like a B+. This is a B to A situation where it's obviously better than everything else in this row, but I don't know that it's as good as the stuff in the next row. So this is like a B+. It's not a bad choice. There's just better choices to go with. So that is the B tier. Actually, I lied. Climbing axe. I hate it. I really do. As a combat weapon, it's just, yeah. Anyway, so now any of these weapons you got, basically you can use these. They can be effective. You know, you can kill some people. Again, something about missing nipples. But then, you know, after you're coming home damaged, they don't do anything super special for you. Everything else on here has reasoning why it's above here. So let's get into the A tier and get explaining some of the stuff. First up on the A tier, the upgraded club. I call this head on a stick part 2. It's the one that's got like the head that's still got skin on it and the hands like stable to it. Does like, I think like the highest base damage of every melee weapon in the game. The biggest downside is that it swings really freaking slow. However, I personally cannot ignore the fact that this thing literally cracks skulls with a skull and like a hand. But the extra damage on this weapon makes it, I think, worthwhile. Why I put it over like the regular unupgraded club or the axe. I feel like this one gets the job done just a little bit better. And honestly, it's super cool to like, you're beating someone with a head that's still got part of a face on it. So you have the intimidation factor. You just know if you had to pick a mace, if you had to pick the club, this is the club you pick. I'm not talking about upgrades, all that kind of stuff, but this is the club that you pick. Moving on, we're going to pick up the katana. Now listen, I understand its actual damage isn't like super duper great, especially unupgraded. It gets here solely on the fact it's a freaking katana, man. You can cosplay as a samurai cannibal, dude. Like I don't know that it needs more than that, but this one gets here on sheer fun. I don't care if it's not actually if these hit harder or whatever. This is just fun. When you whip out and there's this giant bull mutant ugly mother lover and you whip out a katana, there's a moment where you feel invincible. It's quickly done away with when you get ran over, but it's super fun. So katana gets an A tier tick from me. Also in the A tier, I'm gonna put the chainsaw. My first playthrough, I never found the chainsaw. So having played through it again in little bits, this is so fun. Do I really think it's a mega effective weapon? No, but yes, again, it's fun. You get a cosplay as, you know, someone from a horror movie. It's great. You're out here with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre in Canada. It does like 11 damage a tick, but the ticks are like really, really quick. I have killed one of the big, I don't know the official name of it yet, but the big bull character, the one that runs through your base, I've killed one of them with this. It's super fun, hard, and also the animation's kind of crap because you go ying, ying, you like move in like this instead of like down. Same reason as a katana. It's a chainsaw, dude. It's a chainsaw. It's a chainsaw. A chainsaw, brand chainsaw. If you know, let me know in the comments. Hit like, you know. If you know, you know. Also on this list, I'm putting the machete. Honestly, it's probably actually B tier. Actually, I'm putting it down at B tier. No explanation. It's not fun. It's not a lot of damage. It's kind of comparable to everything else on this list. This part, it's not worth your time. I mean, it is if you got it, but yeah. Next up, I'm putting the modern upgraded, don't know what the crap this is actually called off the top of my head, I forgot it, axe. It's the one that looks rubberized, and it is a beast because I'm fairly sure it comes base with 100% block. It's slow-ish, and it doesn't have the highest of damages, but it comes with 100% block. So you can pick this thing up, hold it, and eat damage like a tank in an MMO with absolutely no problems. Again, like killing stuff, taking down a whole village, you get that fantasy of killing mutants in Canada with this axe. However, it's going to take you a little bit because you just need to block like a lot. Like a lot. It's not fast. It's not like, you know, the katana is really fast with like medium damage. This is really slow with like a little bit higher than medium damage, but this has like block and this has like block. So this is what you want to go for. Again, I find this in my inventory as like permanently once I find it. Okay, and so then on this next part, I am going to put, so hear me out. The bombs. They're in my mind and as far as like super just sheer amounts of fun in the playthrough, they are super fun. Throwing an explosive head at someone is the only time you're gonna get to do it in this video game, and this is like the game to do it. If you get a good clump up, like if you're cave delving and they're all like camping at the bottom of a rope or whatever, and you spike that mug in there and you just watch them all, you know, it's super enjoyable. Oh, this feels like I'm outing myself. If you have bad aim, you might accidentally blow up a friend or a house or a trap or useful stuff, and you know there is a chance for residual kickback on these particular explosives. So they're super fun. I get A tier. Like you can take a village, like if you roll in there with some bombs, dude, you can have a great freaking time and do some major damage to the big ones. Like I've used them a bunch. They're one big burst of damage and they're just kind of one and done. And again, I may or may not have accidentally killed a friend or two with them on complete accident because caves are small and I really shouldn't be allowed to handle explosives. So I'm gonna put these at A tier, knowing they could be better. Finally, I'm gonna put the crossbow up here. Now listen, I understand the crossbow has insane damage. It's really slow. I don't prefer it. This one could be an S tier weapon. I don't prefer it. I know there's people that love this bow, but I don't feel like it's a superior bow. It probably is, and I just suck, and that's okay. But I'm gonna put this one at the A tier. Again, it could be, it's like A plus, kind of like what we did down here. It's kind of A plus. I would love to put it in the S tier, but I just don't. There's an item that will go there that I just love. That leaves us with the S tier weapons, and I'm going to start off with the weak spear. And you might be like, DJ, you're an idiot. Yes, but also the spears in general, dude, just spears in general. This is what I've been waiting for this whole time. Spears in general are the S tier weapon. I off the rip, give me 2 sticks and I can kill anyone. Like the melee damage, depending on which spear you're using, the weak spear, the upgraded spear, whatever, may vary. However, when you throw these mugs, they do like 80 damage. This is my weapon for killing stuff. I keep trying to get, if you watch the playthrough and just kind of pay a little bit of attention, like I keep trying to get the other people to build spears and just keep them. They're easy to make. They're super like abundant with resources. And when you throw them, they do massive damage. Now there is the drawback of having to go pick it up, but that's fine. I have a lot. If I missed, I have a weak spear bag and I just keep throwing weak spears. They all do like crazy good throwing damage. I would rather have the weak spear over every other item below this. I love the upgraded spear, and I have found a new love for the Molotov spear, which I'll talk a little bit about in a second. But the weak spear, like, is literally 2 sticks. 2 of these make an S tier weapon, and 2 Fs make an S. Remember that. I absolutely love it. I carry that around. I make a spear bag. Like, it's awesome. The Molotov spear, the upgraded spear has better melee damage, so I actually run the upgraded spear more than anything in the game. The Molotov spear is super fun because, as you can probably tell, which we'll get into about some items in my bottom down here, the dot damage, setting stuff on fire in this game is super good. Even if you miss, there's usually flames on the ground that they can walk into and get caught on fire. That's S tier, baby. So when you combine the throw 'em stick with the burny burn, like, it makes a good weapon. So I'm putting all 3 spears at the top. Fight me. Behind that, again, I was talking about dot damage, the flare gun, the Molotov cocktail. Again, even if you miss, you are, well, I mean, the flare gun you have to hit, but it just does crazy big damage and they're on fire, and there's so many flares in the game that you just basically have infinite ammo. The reloading mechanic's stupid, but other than that, great. The Molotov cocktail, again, you throw it, oops, you missed, oops, they backed over it, and you didn't miss. It's a weapon that strikes twice. I mean, that's great. Now, I could actually put the gas, this probably up here, but I'm not changing my mind, so it's staying down there. But the Molotov cocktail, they're super cheap and easy to make. There's booze in like every cave. There's rags everywhere. You set them on fire, you throw them, you have a party. Next up on the list, which probably is a little controversial considering what I just said about these bombs, is the dynamite. It go boom once, it go boom big, but it has like the ability to blow open like specific holes in the map, which is great. I'm sure the other ones do too. But dynamite's more abundant. I don't have to do anything with dynamite. I gotta cut a dude's head off, and then I gotta get the computer parts and stuff, and then I gotta assemble that crap. Same thing with the other bombs minus the head, but like, you know, dynamite, just pick that crap up and throw it. Dynamite hits S tier for me because its simplicity of use is just beautiful. Then the mega bow, the modern bow, the recurve bow, whatever you want to call it. This thing hits hard and makes the other bows look like poop, in my opinion. I love it. I'm not a big bow user in general. Like, if this was just preference of use, I probably would put this in the A or B. But this thing's a monster. You get it. And any of the modern tools are freaking nice. Like, the modern axe probably should have been up here. But like this bow, if you're going at range and you're not using like the flare gun, the bow is good. I don't have anything else really to say about it. It's good. And finally, F tier. I'm just kidding. I'm gonna put this at S. Actually, this one's really hard for me, y'all. I'm not even gonna lie. I just put it up there and like acted all cool and like it was gonna be the S. Here's the thing. It's a gun you have to find all the parts for. Then you have to find old bullets. Okay? That in and of itself, so it's limited, makes it not great. So I can't really put this in the S tier. However, the damage that comes out of the gun is freaking insane. And so you have to kind of take that into account. I hate having to look for these pieces, but like it kills stuff real good. It shoot head real good. And so I'm gonna put it at A tier. I know we didn't end it in the S tier. I probably should have said that it does. If it wasn't for the limited ammo and finding the mechanics, it would absolutely be S tier. Like if you could find this assembled with like if you do like the enter, like not that I ever cheat. If you ever go and do the give me all stuff cheat, I forget what it is, the admin command, and you have this gun assembled with unlimited bullets, it is like you don't need anything else. You just walk around and you know, blast, but it's not gonna happen on a normal playthrough. So I'm gonna put this, the damage and stuff, it should be up here. But this is like another A plus. This is like an A plus plus. It should be S, but I'm petty. And looking for all the pieces sucks butthole. And so I don't want to do it. So there you have it. That is my tier list for every single weapon in the forest and what I think about them. And basically you can see kind of what I use. So how did that align with your list? What'd you think about that? Am I completely wrong, or am I just actually a genius? I think we all know the answer here. But if this was your first time here, make sure you like and subscribe. We would greatly appreciate it. It helps the channel out, and we would love it. And if it was helpful and or funny, you know, again, comment down below about, you know, your preferred weapon, your preferred setup, your most used, all that kind of stuff. I'd love to hear what you got going on down there. And also, again, if you want to see us play through the forest, check out this playlist. That's on screen, a link to it right now. I don't know where it is because I don't edit my stuff, but like it's here. I think it's up there somewhere. You should click on it and go watch it. And I think we're up to part 13 or 14. Depends on when this video releases. So go see our little fun of me helping direct people who have never played the game through the game. But that being said, until next time, guys, hope you all have a wonderful time. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.